My name is Roger Johnson. I like taking pictures and I love to travel. Whether it's working as a professional tour guide, a flight attendant, or on my own for fun. Across America or around the world. This is my show. Hello and welcome yet again to another Welcome to America Adventure Update. I am Roger Johnson.
And I'm Haley Nelson, and we are here in the Untamed Science Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina.
But today we're going to talk about Michigan, Dearborn, Michigan to be more specific.
In a place I've never been.
You've never been there. I put it on the 50 States, 50 Days itinerary, and then I took it off. And
What
I
is
put
it?
On the Henry Ford.
Museum?
That's what they call it. There's several parts to it. There's the Henry Ford Museum, there's the Greenfield Village, and then there's a couple other, they've got the River Rouge plant and another things. There's an IMAX theater there. I've only been to the Ford Museum and the Greenfield Village right next to each other.
So what's it like? What's going to this museum like?
It's like you've got the Smithsonian as far as great American history museums. Here's the Henry Ford Museum. It's like right there.
This is high praise.
This is high praise.
From you, who's been to so many museums.
And
holy, I'm going.
The collection
just
is
based on that.
Just so amazing, the stuff that they have there. And of course you think, okay, it's the Ford Motor Company, it's Henry Ford, so
they got cars.
They've got cars. They've got the cars lined up from like the very first car that Henry Ford built in his garage. All the way through, and then they've got a line of cars from the very early all the way up to the modern day. So you can see the styles change and everything.
That's really cool. You can just walk along?
You walk along. My dad was disappointed when he went there because you couldn't get in and
because you couldn't look
under the hood or anything.
But your father owns a version of most of those cars.
Most of those cars. He's got a Model T and he's got a Model A and a Dodges and you name it.
But what else? What else is there?
So they've got trains and planes and then famous automobiles. They've got the limousine that President Kennedy was riding in on the fateful day in Dallas.
The car?
The car. No, it's the real thing.
Nice.
They've got President Reagan's limousine that he was riding in the day that they tried to take him out. They've got other presidential limousines, Teddy Roosevelt's carriage. They've got the chair that Lincoln was sitting in when he was assassinated. And they've got one of the more recent, really high-profile, cool things that's there is the bus that Rosa Parks was riding on when they said, hey, we need you to move to the back of the bus. And she said no. And the bus is there. They acquired it. They've refurbished it. And
so you can just look at the bus? Or
like a lot of things in the exhibit, you can't touch them. You can't go in them. The Rosa Parks bus, because it's not 100% original, yeah, you get to go on the bus. Oh, you go through the museum and you get through the exhibit leading up to it, and it outlines what life was like pre-civil rights reforms of the 1960s, and all of the, and there's the whites only signs or whites only drinking fountain signs, and it just, and you get on the bus and you get to go back, and they've got a volunteer there that answers questions and whatnot.
Wow.
Yes, this is the seat that she sat in. And the first time I did this, and it happened the second time too, I've been there twice since they've acquired the bus, and you sit down in the seat and just like that Gettysburg moment shivers up your spine, and just this piece of history right here, this one person sitting down to stand up for what was right.
Wow.
So I mean,
you had a moment.
I had a moment there, and so it just packed to the gills with stuff like that, and the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile is there,
which is extremely historically significant.
so I mean, it runs the gambit, and then next door is the Greenfield Village, and there's museums, like it's a living history museum kind of thing that you see all over the country, where they bring in historic buildings from around the country.
So what does that one do? What does that one?
And so it's like a little village, but
when
it's olden time. No, they're houses and buildings from different time periods.
Oh, from different time periods.
From different time periods, mostly like Industrial Revolution type era.
Okay. That's what I was thinking.
So they've got a replica of the cabin that George Washington Carver was born in, the inventor of peanut butter. Not really, but he was an agriculture botanist and an expert in agriculture. You're probably very familiar with him.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite all-time people. My other all-time favorite people, Abraham Lincoln. They've got a cabin courthouse that he used to actually ride the circuit when he was a lawyer and he visited this courthouse.
This really does seem like definitely a place where our interests meet. Because I'm mostly on the science side, you're mostly on the history side.
So and then you've got, Henry Ford, inventor of the automobile, or perfectionist of it, entrepreneur. His home where he was born, the replica of the workshop, his first production facility is there. The Wright brothers' home and their cycle shop, the actual cycle shop. So again, just like the museum, but it's buildings and things that you get to go through.
What age do you think would like to see this? I mean, obviously it'd be really fun for us because these are things...
Boys and girls, children of all ages.
Well, these are things that, like, historical moments that everybody kind of knows about, and if you get to go, oh, here are all these little historical moments that you get to see come to life. I mean, I would assume, like, 8, 9, 10... that would be kind of a good grade.
Well, and then they've got the train that goes around, and so you can ride on the train. You go in they've got a roundhouse where you go inside there, and you get to walk actually under the trains and look at the guys as they're working on them and stuff.
Sweet. I hope you could meet Sir Topham Hatt if you.
No, I didn't see Sir Topham Hatt. The turntable for the roundhouse, it's manual. The guy grabs a lever and he turns it around, and so if you've got kids, you can take your kids in, and there's a line of kids waiting, and they turn it around half a turn, and they take a new group of kids, and they get to turn it around.
If you like vehicles, if you like stuff, then this sounds like a good place to go.
Oh, and then the creme de la creme for if you're into science, you've heard of Thomas.
If you're into all that stuff.
Thomas Edison, he's the white George Washington Carver.
Right.
Invented the light bulb, the phonograph, all kinds of stuff. His Menlo Park laboratories. I'm not entirely sure. I asked. It's largely a reconstruction. Some of the original materials that were used are there, but you get to go in there and you see walls and walls lined with beakers and experimental material and
science and history coming together.
And it was
fun and love.
They describe it as an invention factory.
Oh,
he wanted to come out with a new invention every month or whatever the timetable was, but he takes this idea of science. Science is discovering the truth of how the world works, how the universe works. Invention and engineering is taking that and applying it to something that you can use. You build a coffee mug because you know that it holds liquid. And then you take the business side of it.
Science.
And so then you make money off the things that you sell and you put it back into invention, and it's a really cool, fun place to go. Out of all the places that I've been to that you have not.
So it's Henry Ford, the Green something. What is
Greenfield
it called?
Village.
Henry Ford, the Greenfield Village, and they're all right there together.
They're all right there together. And then there's buses to their other exhibits that you can check out on their website and whatnot.
Right.
So yeah, more there than I can ever fit into an adventure update. So you can look up their website on the Google there, or the Yahoo or whatever. You can take a look at my website, welcometoamerica.us.
You can take a look at my website, untamedscience.com, or go on YouTube to search Untamed Science and The Curious Parent.
Fantastic.
Oh, and you should pick up one of these guys.
And you got to pick up a Welcome to America passport. Check out the commercial we're going to play here after the closing logos. Very cool. And 50states50days.us, starring the lovely Haley Nelson and myself.
Lovely. Backwards high five. Okay, there you go.
That's I was going to make a joke. Oh well.
Oh man, that was great.
I'm Roger Johnson, the world's first self-proclaimed welcome sign photography expert. I've got a photo of myself next to a welcome sign in all 50 U.S. states and the District of Columbia. And if you don't believe me, I've got a certificate to prove it, which I do need to sign. But that's not the point. The point is, if you've got obsessive compulsive travel disorder like I do, also known as OCTD or the travel bug, you know how much fun it is to keep track of your travel. I've been to all 50 states at least 4 times or more, and I do know how much fun it is to keep meticulous records. I've taken welcome sign photos, I've built complicated websites, produced expensive, time-consuming, award-winning travel documentaries. I put stickers on my van. I've drawn on maps and on myself. It's too much. But now I've found a better way. The Roger Johnson's Welcome to America passport. It's got the look and feel of a real passport. You can customize your passport with your name, personal information, photo, and signature on the information page. Pre-printed stamps for each state contain the date of statehood, as well as mottos, nicknames, landmarks, and symbols unique to each state. See? You can track your travels by coloring in the map in the back, as well as checking off each state and taking notes in the state checklist. So whether you're traveling by land, sea, or air, if it's your first state, your last, or somewhere in between, you too can track your travels with your very own Welcome to America passport. The Welcome to America passport is not an official document issued by any government agency. It is not required for travel anywhere in the United States, world, or known universe. It is strictly for fun as you track your own travels to all 50 United States and the District of Columbia. Buy yours today at welcometoamerica.us/passport. So if I figure I sell 2 million of these and I make $1 off of each one, I'll be a millionaire.
A lot of people ask us what Untamed Science is.
That's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be great.
It's
This is Untamed Science.
Oh.
I love the deep sea.
We're going to try to answer the question, when is acceleration the greatest in skydiving?
But we're not just a bunch of adventurers, we're also scientists and filmmakers.
So we pick a topic and then we show the practical application of that out in the wild.
wall clouds for me. We're gonna get a tornado. Get out of here! Get out! Get out! No! 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 Get out of here!
Looks steep.
This is no ordinary afternoon ride.
I'm already starting to lose track of how many days we've been riding.
So if you like what we're doing, subscribe to our channel.
We're heading to Africa.